So, as you can see, I've had a haircut, but fucking hell, man, it felt like that barber was constantly punching me in the side of the head. All 2024 F1 liveries have been revealed. Some look amazing, and some are totally fucking clapped. So today, we are ranking them all. We have 5 different segments that these liveries can go into. At the top, we have Champion. Next down, we have Fat Dub. The middle is the definition of mid. We then have boring or ugly as fuck. And then its own special one at the bottom. So yeah, we're just going to go through all of the different liveries and just rank them all and just see how I feel about them. So, first up, we have the Haas livery. Now, I've never really been a fan of the Haas liveries, to be honest. You know, the black and gold a few years ago was tacky as hell. Then they had the white, like the primarily white, the blue and the red. I thought that looked terrible. Then they branched into the kind of like the black and white and red, and I think it's all right. But with this one, it's just it just doesn't do much for me. The Haas livery. I don't know whether or not, like, you know, the performance of the team affects my opinion of it, but honestly, I'm not too big a fan, but at the same time, I don't really think, you know, I don't have an opinion either way on the Haas livery, and, you know, I don't just have a lot to say about it. It's not boring or ugly, so yeah, it's mid. Okay, next up, Steak F1.
Carbon fiber.
Aston Martin. This one isn't as carbon fiber as the others. Again, there isn't really a lot going on with this livery. Like, yes, they've done more carbon fiber than previously. I do like British Racing Green. I think it's a really nice colour. Yeah, it's another one that doesn't really do much for me, but I do like it. So it's because I haven't got one between definition of mid and Fat Dub. I think I've got to put it at either the top of mid or the bottom of dub. They don't really have a lot going with the sponsors. It's not too amazing. I do find it hilarious that Peroni have clearly paid a lot of money for that placement. But no, I do like it more than Haas. It'll go bottom of Fat Dub because I do like the colour. Alright, next up, my team, Mercedes. I actually really like this livery. I think the couple of seasons where they had the all black, I thought it was a nice change. And they went back to the silver, which I think looked good. And this one, it is, I think it is a decent combination of the two. The suits were just announced today. Well, I say announced, they were shown today. And I think they do look alright. I do really like the Mercedes livery. I think the kind of greeny blue that they've got, which goes with the kind of Petronas livery, I think it looks really good as kind of like accent lines. I think doing the silver through the middle is great. The black on the outside is fantastic. If there was one thing I wish that Mercedes would do with their livery, is that they would do more with their wheels. Like, if you look at, you know, what Ferrari have got this year, or what McLaren have been doing for the last few years with the chrome colours, I think Mercedes could do a lot more with their wheels. And because of that, it isn't champion, but it is going in Fat Dub. And it's going above the Aston Martin in Fat Dub. I do really like this livery. McLaren.
Carbon fiber.
Toro Rosso, Alpha Tauri, V-Carb, F1, Visa, contactless, whatever the hell they're going by now. I am not a fan of this livery at all. I don't like it. I personally think it's lazy. It's crap colouring. It's the same kind of colours as I mentioned with the Haas livery that they had a few years ago, just with blue as the primary colour. I am not a fan of this one at all. It's just it just feels tacky, and as for that, it's going in ugly as fuck. Williams next. I think this was one of the first ones, and again, when I saw it, this is another one where I wasn't too much of a fan of it. I get that they're trying to hark back to you know, the older days of Williams as they're trying to get the name back up to the top. And I think it's an admirable thing, but I just think there isn't enough going on with this livery. It just feels like it's just one thing of blue, and there isn't a lot going on with it. I do completely agree with what George Russell said, where it isn't about the livery, it's about the lap time. And I know a load of people agree with that as well. But at the same time, these teams need to realise that as us watching it, we like to see pretty cars going zoom. And for me, the Williams just doesn't do it. It just seems to be just just one shade of blue. I know there are a couple of shades of blue in it, but it does just feel like one. And for me, it isn't ugly, but it is boring. So it beats the V-carb car most definitely, but it's just dead. Alpine.
Carbon fiber.
Next up, Red Bull. I can't say anything about this. It is literally the same livery they've had for the last 5 years. It's a boring livery. I don't like the team much to begin with. And I am not a Red Bull fan. I don't like the livery. It's boring. They need to switch it up. This is even their 20th year in the sport, and they didn't even do anything to recognise it. Just put the bull going through the 0 of the 20. Do something different. This livery, it's boring as hell. We've seen it way too many times now. It's like Lotus back in the, you know, was it the 60s or the 70s, where they just put the same car out every single time, and it's just not exciting. Give us something new to look at. Holy shit, you're boring, but it isn't ugly. It's boring but not ugly. The V-carb is ugly. And Ferrari. Easily what I think is the best livery this year. I love what Ferrari have done with this car. I think it's a beautiful shade of red. I love that they're coloured their wheels. The accents of the white and the yellow is fantastic. The race suits look brilliant. They've got the drivers' names on the car now, which I think is a nice little thing. And I'm just looking at this livery just makes me really happy just when I see it. I may not be a Ferrari fan. Well, I say that. Everyone deep down's a Ferrari fan, aren't they? I really, really love this livery, and I can't wait to see it out on the tracks. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. And yeah, like I said, I love the combination of the race suits, the accents, the shade of red they've gone for. I think, you know, the kind of retro Ferrari lettering they've had for the last couple of years across the rear spoiler. I think this is I'm going to say it, it's a perfect Ferrari livery, and I love it. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, notification bell. I'm really excited for F1 to get back underway. I'm really excited for this season. After last year's complete and utter Red Bull dominance, I'm really looking forward to this coming season and hopefully seeing some other drivers and other teams up on the podium and taking race wins. I do want to preface, I'm not becoming an F1 channel. I just really like the sport. I've got my kind of fire and my passion back for it, and you know, let's go, man, let's go.